Not slipping.
Bless.
All right,
Let's do it.
It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Good evening and welcome to Island Origins Live. We are, of course, on Facebook Live. You can also find us on television, in print, and online at islandoriginsmag.com. I'm Khalib, your host. This is my co-host, David I, aka Mr. Sexy Man.
That's right.
And tonight we are talking about the topic. Tonight, on the 73rd anniversary of Bob Marley's birth, we are joined by two reggae professionals. One is sneaking in the door right now. So we're joined by two reggae professionals. On set with us tonight, we have Everton Blender, reggae musician, and we have entertainment attorney and consultant Lloyd Stanbury, who is sneaking onto the set right now. Come on in. Come on in right now. All right, so we're just going to get started with Mr. Blender while Lloyd is getting situated. And welcome to the show, Mr. Blender.
Blessed love and prosperity.
All right, Emma. Let me do the proper introduction. So Everton Blender, as we know, is an award-winning reggae singer and producer known for his tenor vocals and spirituality. You're a very spiritually conscious Rasta.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you. His major hits are Ghetto People Song and Lift Up Your Head. Can you please just introduce yourself to our viewers for those who don't know you?
Before you say anything, I want to say one thing. And listen, as a former disc jockey who played music for a long time, if I hit tune to it, just never mention, we go, blend them, Everton Blender.
Sure,
so, I mention about
And we're going to speak. I see David gone already.
No,
we're going to
sorry,
speak
I apologize.
proper English because
sorry.
it's not only Jamaican people watching the show, so we're going to try as much as
my
possible.
Apologies. I'm so
to
sorry.
not slip too deeply into the dialogue. But Mr. Blender, we all know we know those three major hits, right? But other than your hits, just introduce yourself to people who don't necessarily know your catalog.
Yeah, man. Well, this is Everton Blender, and we always sing good songs for the people, for the younger ones. We always sing songs for the younger ones because we can't afford to let the youths them go astray. So we always try to sing good songs to uplift the people vibes. More time you're coming from work and you feel stressed out, Everton Blender songs can lift you up and so forth. So that's Everton Blender, always doing the right thing. Not going to say I'm perfect, but I always try to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lift up your head and hold it up high. Mr. Stanbury, you ready to join us on set? Please. All right, so our next guest who is on the way on set, and I'm just going to go ahead and look at this camera. Lloyd Stanbury is an entertainment attorney and music business consultant. His book, Reggae Roadblocks, A Music Business Development Perspective, is available on Amazon, and we are giving away a copy. This is my Vanna White impression. We are giving away a copy tonight. Mr. Stanbury is going to tell us about this book. We just want to remind everyone, do not click off. We are giving away tonight. Just a reminder, last week nobody answered the questions. So we are giving away tonight 2 tickets to the Solar Rum, Wine and Food Festival that's happening this Saturday the 10th in Lauderhill. So 2 tickets, that's an $80 value. And we are giving away a copy of Mr. Stanbury's Reggae Roadblocks. So Mr. Stanbury, thank you for joining us. Please introduce yourself beyond what I just kind of outlined to our audience.
Well, thanks for having me. But you just did as much as I might want to do myself. That is refer to myself, as you said, as an attorney in the entertainment business and a music business consultant. What that means is I represent persons, artists, music producers. And I've been doing that for a while. And in recent times, I've ventured into training type activities, hence I decided to write a book to help along the way, of informing and educating people about this business.
Right.
You know, because my experience going through the years working with artists and producers is that, you know, there is not enough understanding of the business aspect of
Yes.
reggae.
It's run a little bit like a party shop instead of an actual
Yeah, you know,
business.
so we have not benefited as we should
Right.
as
Okay.
the people who have given this music to the world.
We definitely need to dig deeper into that, and we're going to come back into the details of the book a little bit later on in the show. But let's get started with our theme for the evening is Roots Reggae Rasta. Right, so we want to talk, let's start with the music. I think both of you kind of got started in the 1970s around that time in the music industry. I know, Mr. Blender, you started off singing and then you stepped away from music and then you came back into music. What was the reggae scene like to the both of you in the 70s?
In the 70s, it is nice, man. In the 70s, it was nice, because although we never really bust out yet, but we used to sing and people used to listen to us, you know. So reggae music did have a pride there in those days. 'Cause I think you used to have Bob Marley.
Exactly.
And you have, I think you have, I'm going to talk about the veteran them, Bob Marley, and I think you have Ken Brown, Dennis Brown, Alton Ellis, back in those days. You know, in the 70s, you used to have, cause when I go dance, them song them listen to Marcia Griffiths.
That was the decade when I think reggae was really making a stamp. Bob Marley was out in the world and reggae was really making a stamp in the world. What's your recollection of 70s reggae?
70s for me was transitioning from high school to university. Because when you spend a lot of time chasing after music, you know, so I was fortunate to experience all of the greats, you know, Bob, Dennis Brown.
When you say experience, meaning you were around
experience
them?
as in see them perform, experience as in living next door to Bob Marley.
Oh.
Yeah, I lived at an apartment on Hope Road for several years, which is right immediately next door to 56. I could look into the yard.
That 56, which is Bob Marley Museum right now.
The museum.
Yes.
So I lived right next door, you know. So I was able to see things going on inside
He's
and
very
hear rehearsals going on for 2-3 months.
Play football and things.
And watch football. And when I say rehearsing for 2-3 months, I really mean that.
Right.
You know, they would rehearse for 2-3 months before they go on the road.
And you could hear that in the quality of the music when it was
absolutely.
done. When it was done.
Well, he's very lucky because I don't know Bob. I went close to see him, but you know, I didn't get to see him. He always eat food around of one of this place they call I think it's in Kencut. They have a Rasta man who they used to cook nice Ital food, and he used to go around there and eat. But when I went around there, he left, you know, so I never get to see him. The great man.
But you were around people like Dennis Brown.
Yeah, man. Go on a shop for Dennis Brown before we bust. Man, them say, Blender, Dennis Brown want to pack a cigarette and go buy a cigarette. So man can shine for you. You know nothing about no 45 get to come on 45. But moving around the studio. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Before you bust, this is the life. You have to pay a little bit of dues, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have this in the question, but since it is Bob Marley's birthday, what was his impact on your person? We know his impact on the world of reggae. What was his impact on you as a musician, you as a business person, seeing the reggae music industry?
Well, Bob Marley has basically driven my life, you know, to just put it in a summary form. His music, what he represented in terms of the message that he presented to the world, and his approach to business, you know, which a lot of people like to talk about. Bob was just, you know, singing music, and I mean, Bob, just think about Bob, Peter and Bonnie setting up a corporation in the 1970s, yeah? Which is what Tough Gang was.
Right.
Today, you have a lot of artists who don't know how to set up a company.
Right.
But Bob, Peter and Bonnie set up a corporation, Tough Gang Limited, in the 1970s. He's a businessman of the highest order,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I took all of those things from watching Bob, you know, project his music as a business person, investing in a studio, investing in his musicians, and the message that he brought to the world. Yeah, that's basically what has driven my life and why I am always around reggae music. That's what I got from experiencing Bob Marley.
I have to jump in because you're touching on something that is so important, and then I feel as though, a lot of people are throwing out this term reggae revival, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I want to ask this because what you're saying is so important. So some of the young stars of today in reggae are definitively doing some of the things that Bob did. And I wonder, as someone who's a consultant, who's in the business, how much of it do you see in terms of the younger ones doing it today that you actually notice as following this real serious business of music in that sense?
I'm seeing it in many ways. I mean, a lot of the artists who are referred to as a part of the revival, they talk to them, I listen to their music. They're driven by, putting together messages that reflect the teachings of His Imperial Majesty. All of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
And that is what Bob put foremost as well in his music. So from that standpoint, they definitely are following Bob in terms of why they sing what they sing. They're bringing the teachings of His Majesty. That's what they focus on first and foremost. And they are doing business. They're setting up their little companies and with their friends forming management teams and labels. The same thing Bob was doing.
Same thing, yeah. That's why I kind of felt it as you were saying. I'm like, I didn't want to call names, but I know a few of the artists who are doing a very similar thing today.
Yeah, that's what, and it is to be encouraged,
And you spoke about His Imperial Majesty. I definitely want to jump into the actual Rastafarian faith and how it has influenced the music as well. Well, let's finish the question with Mr. Blender as well, Everton. What was the impact of Bob Marley's music on your approach to music?
Well, right now, Bob Marley wasn't a man like enough people that show up and brag and say them grew up with him and them know Bob Marley and him. But by listening to his songs, I know this man is a great man. And through that greatness now, is that in that farm I find out that this man is supposed to be respected. So I did a song named Bob Marley about him. So to show you how I was looking at this man, I know that this man is great because I can remember one time when they was keeping a show, I think it's downtown. I don't remember because I was supposed to go to the show, but I didn't went. I was doing some work, on the ocean, doing some painting work on a big ship, so I couldn't get to go to that show.
So you were a painter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob Marley is a very great man and influenced good things and good people. He always teach us for justice. We must stand, defend our rights and to love our homeland. Songs of freedom and love for everyone. And inspiration. He's inspired every human. So Bob Marley, I can see where he do a good work, and I can feel some of his music, that I really grew up with. Like he have a song I used to love him. I say, them a rudy, something like that. Them pigo abolima, Bob Marley used to have some great songs out there. By coming up now, I heard a lot more of his songs. It was, like His Majesty's speech until the philosophy.
Yes. Which a lot of people attribute to, whose speech? Was it Marcus Garvey's speech?
His Majesty's speech.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people attribute it to Marcus Garvey?
No. Yeah, enough people say it's Marcus Garvey.
A lot of people say that, but they don't know. Uninformed.
They don't know, they are not.
And then some people attribute it to Bob because they know it from the song. Right.
People probably confuse Redemption Song. Inside of Redemption Song, there are words that came from Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
And in War, it's His Majesty's speech.
Okay.
Sometimes people might, confuse the two. Right. So he has addressed, words from both
Right.
Marcus Garvey
Right.
and His Imperial Majesty in his music.
If anybody's watching and they're lost, the two songs that we're referring to are War and the Redemption songs. Right. So both of those were inspired by speeches, one from Marcus Garvey, one from His Imperial Majesty Selassie I, Rastafari. All right. Just want to remind everybody you need to be paying attention to every single word that is being said by our guests, because at the end of the episode, we're going to ask you some questions based on the answers from our guests. And you have to text in, you have to be like the 5th or the 7th person to text in the correct answer. You will win either those tickets to the Solar Rum Festival, Rum, Wine and Food Festival, or this fabulous book, Reggae Roadblocks, which Lloyd Stanbury will tell us about in just a little bit from now.
And before you get into more questions, if you're watching, I don't know which camera is on me right now, over here somewhere.
Yes.
If you're watching, share, invite other people to join us and watch the show, because the truth is that if you don't share, then it's only I think it's like 150,000 watching so far. We want the rest of the world to join us. So please do share.
Right. Plus, if you're the number 2 person to text in the answer, you're not going to win. So make sure that at least you are responsible for at least 7 other people to answer the questions. All right. Mr. Stanbury, Lloyd, I know you from the days of Sly and Robbie when you were their lawyer. You've been an attorney for several high-profile people in reggae music. What was the business of reggae like when you just entered, and has it changed over we know that there are some people, you talked about Bob and him and Bunny and Peter structuring their business from the very beginning. And a few weeks ago we were talking to Sly and Tanton Defante. They talked about Chronix and his set of people being very responsible about how they run their business. But those are pockets of people. Are people actually paying attention in general?
I think there has been quite a bit of improvement, I would say. And you touched on my entry point to the music industry is Slide on Bar. That's how I got into the music business, by doing the Sly and Robbie Taxi Connection 10th anniversary show, 1983. That was how I got involved. Things have changed a lot, especially when it comes to areas of songwriting and music publishing and understanding the role of the musician who creates music and the authors who write the words. In the early days there was a lot of issues surrounding who really owns the song. A lot of musicians were not rightly compensated for their musical creations in the early days. Those things have changed somewhat. Where you find people are now aware that the musicians are also writing the original music, along with the person who's writing the lyrics.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of improvement in that area, the area of songwriting and music publishing. And yes, a lot more artists are starting their own companies, registering their companies and joining the appropriate collection societies to take care of their royalties and branding themselves. That has become a big thing in terms of how people present themselves. They present their music so that you can see it too.
Right.
It's not just about hearing music anymore. You have to see music.
Right.
So they pay a lot of attention to visuals.
Right.
So those things have improved a lot in recent years, I would think.
Mr. Blender, your experience as a person, as a musician, from the business side, has business been good to you, or?
Yeah, business is good. It's just that, the people now gravitate to certain culture. They really love the bling bling, and they want to draw you the bling bling, like they want to draw you out and say, you go sing some bling bling. But my father never did taught me that, Because when I'm going to become a Rasta, I'm don't ask the question. I'm going to just hold my head up in the sky and say, who is the Almighty? I want to praise the real Almighty, the real man. Who is the real big man? And go on my bed one night and find myself vision that my legs touch the earth. When I get up, my legs touch the earth. And I say, what? That's right there. All right. I'm just take it up from there. So as a Rasta man now, me can't afford to sing certain kind of music. I have to sing good music, so the people them can gravitate from it and the youths them growing up, you know. Instead you tell them so when them broke and hungry, because when they broke and hungry, whenever you go take up no gun. So I'm not going to tell them
paintbrush.
so yeah, I'm going to take up my paintbrush or something, you know, and do something positive, you know.
Right. Yeah, okay, so we're going back to the messaging again, right? And David had this question. Do you want to?
No man, go ahead man, ask the question.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to interrupt with some
sure
deeper one. So, the one I said you
I'm sure you are. So we asked about, both of you now have talked about messaging, right? Lloyd, you talked about messaging as being the messaging of His Imperial Majesty, and I think you kind of just touched on the same thing. Let's dial it back. What is Rasta? What is Rasta as a faith? And then we're going to jump into how that affects reggae music in general.
Well, we can't answer for that. Like I say, right now, Ras means head. Tafari means creator.
Head
so
creator.
Rasta, yes, Rastafari means head creator.
Ras means head.
Yeah.
Take notes, people, take notes.
Creator, okay.
Yes, so it's head creator. So if you know about the king, you have to seek the truth. So I suck on really comes out Rastafari. Seek the truth if you need to know the king, or if you need to know the man. Seek the truth. If you're not dealing with the truth or partial, you know, to try your friend that and them the wrongs, you take up for him. No, you can't see the king that way. And if you give him a kingly ratings, you get if you rate him as only just a king, you get a kingly ratings. And if you work with him as the Almighty, you get an Almighty ratings. So like for instance, you know, the other day I was somewhere in Jamaica and His Majesty just come to me and say, yo, you move now, you know. By the time you move and drive in there, so I shoot up the place.
Wow.
So you have to make sure have these kind of vibes with you. Roll in. Show the power of the Most High, His Majesty. So you have to have these things, nature, amongst the nature of the earth. So if the nature is against you, when you plant a seed, it cannot grow because nature is against you. You need to take up a dry tree and plant it and it growing up. I'll show you how great meat is. The other day I was planting some tomato, right? And I need some sticks to put at the roots so you know when it's growing it can lap around it. And the man them come out the yard come look and say, Blender, but you have tree that grow here, man. In the pan, the tree when we chop off when I have no root. It have grown as spring leaf and everything, the green leaf. So, you know, the king is a very great man and you know, we choose him to praise. You know, if anybody want to praise, them can praise. If they want to praise Jesus, then praise Jesus. Because 72 different names have, 72 different nations they bow before him. So any name you want to call him. You want to call him God, you want to call him Jesus. We call him Haile Selassie, we call him Ababa Janai, we call him Blessed, we call him Jarastafari. There's a lot of names, whatever you want to call him. But it's only one Almighty.
One entity.
Yeah. You know,
okay.
so.
Okay.
I like the man say one Almighty.
One Almighty. One Almighty. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But we don't really fight them one to really believe what they want to believe. But the road that we choose, we have to make sure show the people so that them can really come go them here too. Because the other day, this lady, she saw me walking and she said to me, say, you know, say, from the see you come up the road and I know he's a good youth, you know. And you say to me, this man like you, I would make my son trim, you know. I would make my son trim at all. But sometimes you go along the road and you see some man with the locks them and them pick people handbag and them jump fence and them gun and me I say, well, me don't want my son for that with them kind of people.
Yeah,
you understand? So the way she see me move and me just humble, sit down at the yard and me not too talk. And she said, that youth here, where you come from? You know, I say, Everton Blender. I say, I'm singing all of them good songs that we love. And, you know, so you have to make sure when you deal with Rasta, you have to make sure you deal with it on a positive note. So when the youth them see them can say, yes, Father B. I don't want them draw away from Rasta. I want them come near or come closer, you know. So.
The people are thieving things out of people is not Rasta.
No, look call him Long Hair Harry.
There you go, although in a Burger King commercial, like Burger King.
Long Hair Harry.
That's not a Rasta.
You know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, when we're on tour, you know, we can't get no food feet, you know. Sometimes we make all that drive through and get some fries or we get some fish fillet and everything there. So back in the days, you know. But now, when we dip on tour, I make sure I make a hot plate and a pot and carry some bulgur and have my things, them start out with ginger, because I'm the doctor when I dip on tour. You know.
I believe you, Bush.
Let me just piggyback on what you were saying. Something you said about that tree growing from you cut off and there's no roots and it grow. You do farming otherwise, or it's just that one instance? Are you do farming generally?
I do farming, man. Right now down my backyard there, right I know a whole thing down there, cassava and them things there, and pumpkin and them things there, and, you know, whole heap of different things, man.
Interesting.
We personally know that when the right time comes, because Africa never live right now, you know.
Nice.
Just a whole and little bit, you know. Build one nice house down in Africa and just pray to the Almighty if you are, because anything you pray for, you get it, you know.
Yeah, man.
Pray to the Almighty to make when we wake up one morning, let me see a river run through my yard, you know. River run through the yard.
You bring a lot of things to my mind. I have a critical question. I will ask one though. About 3 things. What I'm
And please, if you're watching, go ahead and put your questions in the comments.
Send your
We're coming.
questions.
Yes, we're coming
Thank
to the
you.
Q&A section very shortly. So.
Yeah. So the 2 things that because the farming thing bring interest to me, and I want to just bring one more thing, if you can share. A very good friend who is, I think both of you might know of him. His name is Gabriel Selassie, and he runs the Kingston Dub Club. And we've been doing business together for many years. Yeah. Funny, on the Bob topic, we started a company named Legend Entertainment in 1990. Me and Gabriel, and we've been doing business together since that time in the music business. But he has always said to me, farming teach him a lot about the world, and what he sees happen with the plants tell him and teach him a lot about how the world works. Have you found farming to be something that educates you about people and how to interact? And
Yeah, man, because as a toucher, you touch a valuable point. Alright, as a farmer, I had shot through the bushes and them little things there, because we love goats, you know, and all these things, and dogs and all these things, because the dog is the man's best friend. Anything you see the goat eat, you can eat it, or you can boil the tea or something good. Anything the goat not eat, don't touch it.
yeah, well, it's something very similar to that Gabriel and I talk about very recent. So yeah, because he's always telling me, you know, the farming really educates you a lot about what you should and shouldn't do in life.
Yeah.
So
you have a lot of bush out there where people sick and you can drink it. But so that's the way I call it now. That's what I'm looking at now. See if I can find out some of these bushes and things, because
Natural remedy.
yeah, natural remedy. Instead they run to. I'm not fighting against that kind of thing. But sometimes they give some prescription where it costs a harm on a leg. And you don't know how to deal with it, you're dead. So these are the things now where you have to make sure that the ground, the bushes, them, because you have some bushes like dandelion and sarsaparilla and all these kind of bushes, you know, good way, you know, you can drink, like the herb and the nutmeg. Enough people call it nutmeg, but it's not really nutmeg, it's nutmeg. Enough people say nutmeg, but we say suckmeg.
Alright, I'm going to draw us back over here, because once again David gone down a rabbit hole that have nothing to do with the conversation.
Questions are made to ask.
But yeah, man, questions are made to be asked. But let's stay on the topic of roots reggae Rasta.
Alright,
So Lloyd, I'm going to jump back over to you. So we're talking about Rastafari as a religion, and you talked about it influencing the content of reggae music.
Yeah.
When you were introduced to Rasta in the 70s, did you embrace it right away? Has Rasta changed from that from then until now?
Rasta is an evolving belief system. This is how I see Rasta. It is a belief system that is born out of the experience of Africans brought into the Western world and trying to interact or continue to interact with their homeland Africa, and inspired by the teachings of His Imperial Majesty. That is how I see Rasta, as how it has come together as a belief system, to the point where there are persons within that belief system who believe in the divinity of His Imperial Majesty and see him as, reincarnated Almighty. So it's an evolving belief system. Today, there are youths who are Rasta, who females who would want to go to a Nyabingi and play. You know, there was a time when
What is a Nyabingi?
a Nyabingi gathering,
A
yeah,
gathering, uh-huh.
and play on the drums.
Okay.
And there was a time when male Rasta would say women are not allowed to play on the drums, although Nyabingi is a woman. Nyabingi is Queen Nyabingi from East Africa.
So the name of the ritual,
Yeah.
which is
So
the gathering of the
Nyabingi
drums,
came out of a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, a warrior woman who beat drums in Eastern Africa, you know, to get the women primarily together to fight against all kind of evil systems.
Yeah.
So Nyabingi is a woman,
Right.
yet within, you know, the transition of this Rastafari belief system, there was a time
Yeah, remember
when men would say women not allowed.
remember what the topic what you said. I just want to say something before I forget. Nyabingi means dead to black and white down pressers. So if you are white and you are down pressers, you have to go down. And if you're black, so you don't say it no partial. Dead to black and white down pressers. So if you are wicked and you're white, you go down. And if you're black and you're wicked, you go down. So that's the meaning of Nyabingi.
Right.
Nyabingi is a harder coming through his imperial modesty, you know, as we Virgin just said. So he's a him know where I going. You get what I'm saying? So it's a gathering through righteousness because you have a river. When I went to this Nyabingi ground, you have a river where it dry up every time after Nyabingi. Sound away, not true. And every time Nyabingi start, like Nyabingi is supposed to start today. And we are going to Nyabingi, the whole of we are going and we are driving going or something, we park and we are walking going. We see the river dry, so we say, oh man, them will get them clothes to wash and we will get water for drink and them things. I said, by the time I could have said that, you know, we like a big sound bus up on the top of the mountain.
Water run come.
And the water that a run come. You know, so Rastafari is not just a joke thing. Not for them to come on and now we'll talk about a while about long hair Harry and long hair Tom. Not think about watch them, because Rastafari is not no joke thing.
Right.
You can tell, because him talk of the root of it and start on a positive note with the Rastafarian, you know? Yeah, so
So
yes.
yeah,
sir.
so that experience, you know, has played a significant role in our music, you know, because the drumming that was happening inside Jamaica amongst slaves and free people who were slaves, you know, was the main way of communicating, you know, and celebrating their Africanness. And it is out of that we transition and reach to the stage where we're making the wickedest music on the planet.
Right.
That is where it is coming from. You know, and it is a combination of those African experiences mixed in with man come from Europe and man can turn on him radio and listen to New Orleans, and man come from India and man come from all over the place to this place, and you know, everything mix and
Yeah.
evolve into this music form that appeals to so many people around the world.
True.
Yeah, it appeals to the widest group of persons around the world
Right.
because it is coming out of an experience that it's African.
Yes.
I mean, there are Africans who claim reggae, and rightly so. Yeah, the reggae is not a Jamaican music; it's African music. If you really study it, reggae is African
Yeah.
music,
We
not
agree.
a Jamaican thing.
They dance almost like that. Well, we dance like that. whoever claims it first. But yes. Do we have questions from the audience?
I'm going to tell you honestly, we mostly have a whole heap of comments. So comments like people
Big
saying,
up Father Blender.
yeah man, big singer. I have somebody here said
Bless
big
up
up,
Stunny.
and the next one said Tony. I don't know how much nickname this man over here, but I have all kind of name. Hello from New York City. Hello from Brooklyn. Hello from Austin, Texas. Oh, that's Sister Ari. All right, we have people from all over. I have somebody here. Hello from Germany. I have a question. I don't, unfortunately, Sir Rockwell, I cannot tell when you ask this question, but he asks, is it a Bob thing or just the right way to do things? And I don't know the context of the question.
That's probably the messaging.
Well, it might have been. You might have asked that in the context of the approach
Okay.
To
to
business.
business.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Bob is an example, but it's not as if to say he's the only one. You know, there are other persons
Right.
who have done the right thing.
And
You know, in terms
so
of starting out their business.
the
Bob
answer
Marley
is
an
yes,
example,
it's
yeah.
the right way to do business. And Mr. Stanbury talks about that in his book, which you're going to tell us. You said Bob Andy is another person who's done well with his business.
Yeah.
Talk about some of those people and some of the things that you discuss in the book, Reggae Roadblocks. Let me intro your book for you. Despite Bob Marley's recognition globally as one of the most influential persons in popular music history, many argue that Jamaican reggae music continues to struggle for a commensurate place within the mainstream music business space. Are the roadblocks to reggae dominance imposed by Babylon system, or are they self-imposed? And how do we look at that?
Will I answer that question?
You posed the question. I got it off of your website.
I posed the question, and the answer comes from both sides. You know.
Right.
But my conclusion is that most of the roadblocks or obstacles in the development of the business of reggae have come from within the business of reggae. Yes, there are obstacles imposed by the Babylon system. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But I would say most of the things that have kept us back is ourselves. You know, we love to talk about the crab in the barrel syndrome. That is one of the things that really hold us back.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like to celebrate success. If somebody is successful, you want to just pull them down and rip them apart and call them all kind of things. That's us. And that has hampered us in a significant way, you know?
Who is the us you're talking about there? When you say the us who want to be the crab in the barrel, who is that us?
The us first and foremost are Jamaicans. I wouldn't even say the reggae community.
No man, I feel
The
you.
reggae community is broader than Jamaica. And I find that the global reggae community, people might get my throat as I go outside to say this, but the global reggae community have a better appreciation of reggae than the Jamaican reggae community. Yeah?
You're right.
They understand, they respect our music, and they respect the message of our music more than a lot of us do.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
and so we put obstacles in our own way. You know, I mean, we're arguing about Chronix and Damien when is
One of us won,
but the bigger picture is that as I wrote in a recent article, 4 of the biggest music videos ever watched in history on YouTube have dancehall and reggae in there. That's the bigger issue. Yeah? Including the current number 1. Reggaeton is our thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Reggaeton is our thing. And most of hip hop is our thing. And we shouldn't feel any way to recognize and celebrate those things. Rather than talking about Damien and Chronix.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It is that is definitely madness.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. My question would really have been, why didn't Christina Alicia win that award? But I'm joking. But she wasn't on the final 5. But I do have some questions
So
from the
Christina
audience.
Alicia is David's artist, and sorry, for those of you who are watching, we have several people who watch us through Jamaicans.com, and some of them are not necessarily Jamaicans. Babylon, when Lloyd referred to Babylon, that is the down presser that Mr. Blender spoke about. Anyone who is down pressing the Jamaican, the black man, anyone.
As you're on the subject
Yes.
of Babylon,
Yes.
you know, people like to make comments about Babylon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a question
And
about Babylon.
people like to
here
say
too.
things about, you know, you must not deal with the Babylon system. You are in the Babylon system. And everywhere you look, there is Babylon. There is this system that is against what Rasta represents. And it is everywhere. So you have no choice. You're in the Babylon system. You know? You're not in the Babylon system. Don't turn on your cell phone.
But those things are going on right now.
Leave your cell phone alone. if you're not
In the system.
part of
They say the
Babylon.
man bring chip come to Jamaica. Where is part of Babylon system?
Let me
You're in the
address,
system.
because we have time issues, I do want to quickly state some of the things. By the way, we have people watching all in Australia, we have people saying from all over. So the roll call, we love that, and big respect to everybody watching around the world. So the first question that I thought was important to really read and hear is, how much did Bob Marley influence Jamaicans? Is it clear that he had a big impact? It is clear that he had a big impact worldwide. How much did he influence Jamaicans? Who can take that?
Just look at, well, let me put it this way. Just look at how, we treat today and the whole month of February inside of Jamaica. Just look at how we have treated his music in terms of trying to promote our country. Bob Marley has been a significant influence on every Jamaican.
Thank you.
Or you wouldn't be doing this show.
Right. Or we wouldn't be doing this show.
Another thing too, cause of the song that he sing, that's make a big impact on people. Because most of the song that he sing, it reveal itself.
Today,
right? And you have a next song where it not reveal itself yet. Where a song will say, when you think it's peace and safety, it's sudden destruction. That one don't reveal yet.
Yeah.
So to show you serious the money. So you have to look deep. When I listen to Bob Marley song, you have to listen deep to what the man says. So it make a big impact on people. So that's why I get to sing the song about Bob Marley. And my song is the only song that play on a Bob Marley day. When Bob Marley sang, just Bob Marley song. Bob Marley earth day with them over day when they must play pure Bob Marley. And Everton Blender doing the song with Chippy. That's why I say, wow, that song the great man.
Yeah, man.
Remember me tell upon Bob Marley day. That's why I say, if we know man can't blame them, you choose play Bob Marley day. So trust me, he's a great man. Very great.
So I don't know if we have time for this one. I'll slip in this one as well. So this one I think is to you specifically, Lloyd. Are the roadblocks from reggae from Babylon, or are they self-imposed?
they're
That was
both.
the question.
They're both. There are reasons why certain persons don't want the messages in reggae music to go to the whole world. Especially today. When people are trying to divide and conquer and set boundaries and borders and walls and barriers, and continue to go into Africa and exploit Africa. There are certain messages that persons who want to pursue that don't want to hear. They don't want people to get those messages. It's reggae music that liberated Africa. Throughout all of the freedom fighters' struggles in Africa, it was reggae music that drove them. So if you want to keep the African continent, the richest continent on the planet, under oppression, you can't allow reggae music to prosper. So there are persons within that system who will resist the messages in reggae music. But within the industry, we create more roadblocks than Babylon.
Yes.
So we could get over Babylon and go around them.
Can go around them.
Jump fence and go sideways. We're not together. Yeah.
Yeah, I would ask a follow-up real quick.
We have a question.
Oh, we have a question? All right.
April said, how can we teach the music industry that we have other very talented musicians in Jamaica besides the Marley family, who we love and appreciate their recognition of? So,
I don't know if that is our job, but I don't know if you guys want to...
Well, you want no. You can say something to him after.
Say something.
What really happened, you see, back in the days when I used to grow, you used to have RGA studio, you used to have Cox and Dad studio, you used to have a lot of studio where people, you find Dennis Brown there so, and you find John Wood there so, and you find Ken Booth there so. You don't find them things anymore where artists can come up, great artists, just like how we struggle and come up and can go in the studio and voice a tune. You don't have them studio again. Every man have a studio in your hand.
Right.
And a number one tune come from out of it. What do you say, I say?
Yeah.
So we need to bring forward the music like back in the days, get more studio open to the youths them. Where the youth them can have a whole heap of great singer out there. Some little youth can sing, can hear them, and them say, Father Blender, you inspired me, And then they think that, but they need the boss. But back in the days now, it's not like now, because back in the day they used to rob way. We don't get no money. Sometimes them put other man name on the record that we sing.
Yeah.
And when you take a stock, it's a Everton Williams vice here, or Everton Blender vice here, and the next man name the pan. So the youths them nowadays we are come now, them wise up now. So when me tell myself, so what me I go do when me I get some young artists, I make sure them sign a contract with me for 25 years. It may sound away, 25 or 30 years. So at the end of the day, good singer, me know them song are sell and things that go on. I say, alright, you know, some have a baby mother and them have them youth, them go buy my house, you know. I just buy my house and buy my nice like a ride. It's not like back in the days when imagine like the promoter, the producer, had the big car and you ride bicycle or ride bike. You understand? So make sure you know the youth them know. So alright, go build a house and make him have a ride. Then when you recoup back your money now, if you want left him left, but back in the day, like now, a man you do a tune if your man or you boss him and him gone left you to light stand there.
And him have your house and your car where you buy him
and well, sometimes it don't really work that way because nobody them not buy him anything.
Alright.
Them not do nothing for the youth them. But
I feel.
Yeah, but him have a tune and go on and light Stanbury say, alright, I can spend $1 million upon you, but you just spend 500,000, so light Stanbury just gin him. That's word speak, you know.
Right.
That's something just gin him and him hand over and at the end of the day, about a year after him and light Stanbury that one piece of war. And I said, it's a blender. So we need more studios. So the youths them who out there, because there's a lot, that means a lot of artists, man. But I not even want to go in a certain things. You know, I not lock out no man. No man want to lock out man.
So based on the additional questions that are now rolling in, it looks like it's a 1 hour and a half show.
No man, we can skip out some of this stuff, so we can take a few more questions if there are questions. So, one of the questions is somebody wants Mr. Blender to bust out a little piece of lift. You knew it was coming. Alright, but we want to do that yet, or we're holding that to the end? We're holding that to the end.
No, man, sing a one piece to the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Everton Blender singing a small piece. Take it away, Mr. Blender.
Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Time getting harder, still we're striving for better. And we're not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose your stand, they'll send someone to push you over, over and over. Lift up your head and hold it up. Bing, 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 bing.
Our studio audience was rocking out and getting on bad inside of the studio. Thank you very much to Everton Blender for that splendid performance.
And if we can,
yes.
Why don't we give people a chance to answer the questions while we're on here? So if we can pose one of the questions.
All right. So, yes, I forgot two questions we have.
Right,
So we have 10 minutes, perfect time.
We wanted the book.
We can do the book first because everybody who is watching is a reggae fan.
And I would love if we can have Lloyd sign it to the person before he leaves.
Who wins. Okay.
Right,
all right. So question.
I'm a virgin from long time to you know. You must still beside my numbers and I'm virgin man.
No, we can't see that. Everything, all the earth vibrations.
If I tell you how much
all the earth vibrations,
all of what is here, it's
very
incredible.
Nice, very nice. Thank you for joining us on Island Origins, both of you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. All right. So for a copy of reggae, a signed copy of Reggae Roadblocks, signed by the author Lloyd Stanbury. Your question is, and we have the phone number, the number to text in to win up on the screen. All right, so we're going to give this book signed to the fifth person. The fifth person who texts in the correct answer
with your name.
So you're going to text in the answer and your name. Lloyd Stanbury said at the very early on in the program, he said that Bob and two other people started Tough Gong as a business back in the 70s. It was Bob and two other people who started Tough Gong as a business. The studio audience, you do not get to answer. What were the names, and you can give us first names, of the two other people that started Tough Gong as a business with Bob Marley? And that is to win Reggae Roadblocks. The answer, you're going to text the answer to 954-200-5110
and do it now. the fifth person, so you want to get your answer in pretty quickly.
Right.
All right. So
That's also David's phone. If you want to advertise in the next issue of the magazine, please go ahead and text him with that. All right.
no, you didn't.
I just did. I did it. All right. So that's our question. You have a few minutes, you have about 5 minutes to
5 minutes.
answer, and then we'll give away the next gift, the next prize. But do we want to answer some more questions here while we're waiting?
Certainly. Let's see here. This show should play on a radio station. All right. Yeah.
You can also text that number
We
to
understand
syndicate. To syndicate, whether you want on radio or on your live.
All right. A lot of hail up. Somebody here is from KC, because they might give me some 40s. Oh! All right. I didn't know you were a KC. I love it.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So 40s. Blessings.
40s.
All right. Lest we forget. As
All right,
Stanley
so-
said, Bob's market music evolved. The more he connected to his roots, the more his music became the clear message of Rastafari to the world.
Yeah, man,
All right.
that's what I'm going to think. Did we want to
Yeah,
say
man.
5
No.
questions already?
All right, no, what I'm going to ask this one here first. What about Val Douglas, awesome bass player that recorded some of Marley's tunes? Anybody want to address him? Do we know
Val
Val Douglas?
Well, I don't know if Mr. Stanbury know him.
I know of Val Douglas, and you know there are several musicians who have worked with Bob over the years. I don't know exactly what the question is. What about Val Douglas? What is it?
That's why I didn't ask
All right.
because I don't really
No
understand
problem.
the question.
No problem. And to those people who are answering in the Facebook Live, you have to text the number on the screen.
On the screen.
So, sorry, we're in this camera. We need a light over the camera that's on, so I know where to look, please. Okay.
And we want to just big up DMR Production. DMR, did I say right?
Yeah.
DMR Productions.
Media.
Magic and Judy. DMR Media, box me. Alright. Magic and Judy for all of this fancy camera work that you're seeing. We have some real high-tech stuff in the place. So if you need some production work done, you're going to contact DMR Media. Alright.
So yes. Oh, sorry.
Do we have questions or do you want to do our quick
No,
fire?
I wanted a quick fire, but I just want to remind people, send the answers to the cell number that's on the screen.
Along with your name.
Along with your name, because I'm not taking winners in the Facebook Live.
Alright.
Quick fire.
So, quick fire questions. This is my favorite part of the show. If you had a theme song, not your own song. If you had a theme song, Eye of the Tiger, you know, whatever. Macho, whatever your theme song would be. What would your theme song be?
No.
Quick.
Not my song. Not my song.
My theme song would be Bob Marley.
Which one?
With the Africa Unite.
Okay, alright.
Excellent
Africa
choice.
Unite. Yes, Africa Unite. You can't choose the same one.
No, well, Bob Marley is a great man, you know, and right now, I'm going to say, His Majesty's speech.
War.
Yeah.
Okay.
So War, excellent. Two
As a
great
theme
choices.
song? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we work with that.
It's a good theme song.
You have a new one or you have the same one from last time?
Boy,
You have a new
every
one?
time I have a different theme song, you know.
You want a Bob Marley? What would it be your Bob Marley theme song?
Rat Race. You know.
Wow, Rat Race is a good one too. But if I'm going to choose a Bob Marley, boy, I would have been tempted to go with War, but since it's already chosen, you know, I think I'm going to go with Redemption song.
Redemption.
Yeah, I really feel
Would
like.
be your theme song.
Yeah, man.
Mine is jamming, cause I always want to have a good time. Yeah, alright. So, okay. That's the Bob Marley theme song today, guys. Alright, so if you could never speak again, and you could only wear a t-shirt with one phrase written on it, you have to answer real fast, right? What, for the rest of your life, what would that phrase be?
Love.
Nice.
Same thing.
No, that's cheating. You cannot cheat off of Everton Blender, Lloyd.
choice.
Oh my god.
I love
If
it.
it's one word to choose, that's the word.
Not necessarily.
There's
But
no
you want to
other
say
word.
not too far enough. but love is hard to beat love.
Alright, so you're love too?
No, man, I go the unity. I mean, I love unity.
Love and unity.
Love and unity.
Alright, okay, alright. I don't know what mine is.
So before you run out of quick fire, let's do two things. I want you to pose the question to the public that's going to give them this, to win the tickets.
Okay.
2 tickets to Solar this Saturday night.
Okay.
If you can pose that question, let me just see who was.
Do we have the winner for the first
I'm
one?
going to see who is the winner for the first one.
Okay.
While you're reading out the second one.
All right. So the next question for the 2 tickets to the Soul Lauderdale, right? Rum, Wine and Food Festival that's taking place this Saturday the 10th in Lauderhill. So for 2 tickets for general admission, Mr. Blender said that Rastafari was 2 different words and it meant 2 other different words. What is the meaning, according to Mr. Blender, what is the meaning of Rastafari?
And while you're answering that question, I'm going to say congratulations to someone named Ward. Ward, you are assuming that the answer is correct,
Yes.
which it looks like it is.
Yes.
He put Bonnie and Tosh.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's fine.
This camera, he put Bonnie and Tosh as the 5th texter. The winner is Ward. So Ward, we're going to get the book signed to you. And Ward, please text me now your mailing address so I can mail you the book. Thank you very much.
All right, congratulations to Ward. And for the tickets, for 2 tickets to the Solar Rum, Wine and Food Festival, you're going to text to the same phone number, 954-200-5110, and you're going to text the meaning of Rastafari. Everton Blender told us what it meant earlier in the show. Go ahead and text on in, and we're going to say again the 5th person to get the right answer. So, are we back to quickfire questions?
Yes, back to
All
quick
right, okay. If you could invite any 3 people, alive or dead, to a dinner party, alive or dead, it doesn't matter, whoever you want to have dinner with, who would they be? 3 people.
My wife, and my wife and my mother and my father.
We love them answer there. I like them answer there. It's not some typical answer with some, Barack Obama and Oprah. Man, some wife, my mother, my father. That is a grand answer.
That's a real family.
Definitely.
3 people.
3 people.
To a dinner party.
Alive or dead?
Alive or dead?
Alive or dead.
You planning yours? Yeah, plan
Yes.
up yours, yeah.
3 people, alive or dead, to a dinner party. If I have to choose 3, I'd probably go with my kids. I have 3 kids.
Wow. All right.
Everybody's family. Because it's me and my parents, and I used to them, I want to know some new people. Okay, sorry.
All right,
I
well,
want to know some new people, sorry.
Taking the cue from today, which is the Earth Day of
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
I would definitely choose to add Bob as one of
Yes.
my 3 people alive or dead to invite to this dinner party. And I even thank Everton for saying something earlier that he never got to see Bob. So I see him perform, but I never get to talk with him. So I would love to have Bob at my dinner party. In addition to Bob, interestingly enough, I am going to take my cues from some other things that I have had in my life where I've met some people and never got to actually sit and talk with them. So even though I was joking before, I'm going to include this guy I really respect, Barack Obama. It's very interesting, but he really is somebody I would love to sit and talk with because what you see in public, I would like...
Same dinner party with Bob.
Yeah, absolutely, for that reason.
Bob, Barack, and your 3rd person.
And the 3rd person, believe it or not, interestingly, I'm going to include, because I want to know how the real genesis, I'm going to add Marcus Garvey to that dinner party.
Okay.
So that is how I'm going to choose my...
I'd live stream that dinner party. All right. Okay. So for me, I think I'm going to say Stevie Wonder. For me, right? I'm gonna say maybe Bob Marley too. It's his birthday, and I don't want to teeth you Barack Obama. I think I'm gonna go with Michelle Obama. Ladies. All right. So where are we on time? Do we have time for one more question? Our
Just
answers
one,
coming
just
in.
one,
One question,
just
and
one.
we're wrapping it up. What are you most proud of in your life? What's the accomplishment that you're most proud of?
To me, people, because it's people make you really suffer with your career.
Right.
So I would
So the
say
support and the love of
the
people. Yeah, man, nice. Okay. What are you most proud of?
I would say what makes me most proud is feeling acknowledged, recognized for doing something that I was just loving to do, which is, help people in the music industry.
Just curiously, did you just recently get another acknowledgement from our country, Jamaica, of your contribution to the... What was the latest one here? OD, OM, where are you?
The government of Jamaica gave me the Order of Distinction.
Order of Distinction.
Nice.
Congratulations
Lloyd
again.
Stanbury, OD, all right, congratulations. Yeah. Okay, very nice, congratulations. All right, I'm not asking you that.
No, man, that's fine.
All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up right now. Do we have
beyond
the
time.
winner of the tickets to the solo?
Let me look and
Runway?
see.
Did anybody get the correct answer to what Rastafari means? Did we get the text in? We're looking at the answers. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. And the answer is...
I don't have a right answer. Oh, I tell you what is not the right answer. Thank you for sending your address, Ward.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to say, because we are going off. Anyone, keep sending your answer to the Rastafari answer, and the winner, I will text you back and we will get you the tickets for Solar this Saturday.
Yes, because we got to wrap it up right now. Thank y'all for watching. Our hashtag, of course, our @ is @IslandOrigins. Our website is islandoriginsmag.com. Mr. Stanbury, your website is?
LloydStanbury.com.
Easy. LloydStanbury.com.
And can you get the book on the website?
You can get the book at lloydstanbury.com.
Excellent.
And you can get the book at Amazon.
At Amazon. People know that one.
Yes.
But look at the name of the book, Reggae Roadblocks. Be sure to get yourself a copy. It's amazing. I actually was hoping nobody would get it so I could take it for myself, but no.
No cheating.
No, we're absolutely fine. And
Mr. Blender, do you have social media? You have a website you want to send people to?
Right now, you want to know about Everton Blender, just go Everton Blender at gmail.com, you know?
Alright.
Yeah, man, I mean that, man. And
Yeah.
new song, you can go Amazon and them place there. You can go,
Accepting all bookings right now, yeah?
well, accept all bookings, and
Yeah,
you can just dial 954-696-1128, or you can just check for Addison.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
Yeah, contact Island Syndicate. We'll get you to Everton Blender. All right.
Excellent.
So, yep. And again, we are Khalib Thompson. This is David Muir, aka Mr. Sexy Man. We are your hosts every Tuesday evening here on Island Origins Live, Tuesdays 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Jamaicans.com. We started a little late today.
7 to 8:05.
7:05 to 8:05 today. Don't worry about it. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our guests for being here. Thank you to our studio audience. Make some noise.
Yes.
And next week, next week we're going to be joined by our great friends Xavier and Karen Murphy. They are also, for those of you who know, the founders of Jamaicans.com, but they have been married for like 150 years
They've
or
been married
something
for a
like
long
that.
time. We're going to do a Valentine's show next
We're
week.
doing Valentine's. It's the day before Valentine's Day. They're going to talk about the secret to a long and lasting love and relationship. They counsel and marriage counsel other people, all them kind of things. So tune in next week at 7 p.m. right here on Island Origins Live. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Long and lasting love.
Well done. Magic credits rolling it? Not yet?